Namaste. Welcome and greetings. I am Magick. It's gonna stop a virus. No. This
Got y'all listening now. Some witchcraft for that ass. Too late to turn away. Abracadabra and all that good shit. Yo. Hocus pocus, got you focused on my rhyme. Simply easy, now I'm eating couch potatoes, I recline. No, I'm joking as I'm toking power puffs at Pokey-Oaks. Till my town and villa filled with ganja smoke, you know the dough. Coming out my pipes, talking about the bones in my throat. With the mic, I'm casting curses every night, you know the scope. Got my spells handy. You may call it the phone, but when I'm done reciting, you'll give me the keys to the throne. Then I'll take my keys to go home. Didn't say I was done. While rush to end it all, it feels amazing to have won. I'm not planning to ball, but why not take the chance to stunt? No, I don't need it all. Can think the thing I don't want. Do I worship the sun? Or sold my soul for the tongue? Or dead since I was young? Or got some voodoo done?
Namaste, namastizzle, peace and blessings, shalom, greetings, welcome. As you can see, I have a special guest. She has been here before. Please welcome Reverend Payshence back to the stage. How you doing, sister?
Oh, extremely blessed and highly favored and pissing off all the right people and child. Ooh, I seem to be mispopular with my company. I just had to block and praise be the ancestors with the work of my girls. My indigos jumped right on it and my cousin down in Florida. This person, I had just updated our profile and our cover page for the business and everything. And they fools jumped on, try to copy and play us as a regular profile, try to hustle my own people for readings that work for the company. How stupid can you be? Wow. And of course, my girls taking screenshots and sending me stuff because it saves, the ancestors always let you know what's going on.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I sent a little lovely message after it said it followed my own personal page. And it's like, do you realize who the fuck you messing with, child? Are you that stupid? Okay.
Right.
All right. So, but after thankfully everyone blocking and reporting it, it has been taken down. This is the 20th one in the last 6 months.
The 20th what incident?
Fake profile, trying to be indigo psychics, trying to hustle people for readings.
20th. You had 20 people trying to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I'm glad you got it sorted out though.
Like I said, my girls are on when it comes to security, both physically and spiritually for the company and everything. We are very vigilantly, because also my girls on their own and several people I know in the community and everything on all social platforms. Mm-hmm. These people have started so many fake accounts that constantly have to redo videos and let people know we will not reach out to you. We don't hustle people. Okay. Frauds do that, you know, and it's like, shoot. And
crazy.
Especially when they come to my business page. It's like, you must be an extra special kind of stupid because not only are you trying to come as me and my company, you're asking us if we need a psychic, that spirit sent you to read. We're a psychic company.
Right.
We can go to each other. Why would we go to somebody who's trying to hustle somebody out of something?
Yes. People these days. You know how it is.
Well, they're foreigners. Sadly, they're out of Nigeria. And recently with my DNA update, I found out I literally got 2 different tribes of Nigerian in me. Northern Nigeria and the Eastern tribe of Nigeria, as they call it. And ever since BlackRock.Ancestry.com, they did a major update because they got all that ancient DNA now.
Right.
And everything.
Right.
And since my brothers and sisters went ahead and did it, I don't need to do it for myself because we have the same mama and daddy. So we have the same percentages, as they say. So my brother sent me an update of our DNA and everything. And I'm like, yeah. It makes me embarrassed to even say that that's a part of my ancestry because you doing things in malintent. We're supposed to be doing this to better the community, to help our people.
Right.
As we get blessings and everything, we're supposed to share it, not take advantage of.
Right.
I'm
Right.
sorry to start
No,
your
you're
show.
good. You're fine. You're fine. I can't believe that it's actually been 2 years since we last spoke, since you've been here. A lot has
Mhm.
happened
Oh
in
yeah.
the last 2 years. And so for anyone, with these YouTube channels, people come, people go, you get new subscribers, new viewers, right? So for anyone who's watching this particular broadcast, this particular live, who exactly is Reverend Patience? Would you care to reintroduce yourself?
I'm Reverend Patience. I'm originally from Florida. I'm internationally known hoodoo spiritualist and psychic medium. I've been ordained minister spiritualist with the Universal Life Church since 2001,
Mm,
and I own with my business partners Indigo Psychics, and we are known as we found out when we did our research. We are the world's first psychic company that sells coffee.
congratulations.
And we also sell artisan teas. They're loose leaf teas, and everything is nice and organic. So, because not only because our girls and besides myself, not only we flip the cards for a quick psychic reading, we're also spiritual teachers
Right,
and everything as well.
right,
And so we wanted, as a natural certified natural health practitioner, I wanted to make sure that all the ingredients are as natural and organic as possible, not only for health of the physical, but also for the spiritual as well. Because a lot of us folk from us hoodoo and voodoo and Santeria, traditions and everything, to Europeans, even now they're getting into it over, and especially like in the Middle East, they use coffees
mm,
of depending on what they're flavored with is what you use it for either physical or spiritual type of healings,
right,
um,
right,
speeding up things for your spells or whatever. And we have
right.
all different types of flavors and roasts. I have them dedicated to different gods and goddesses. Where because thankfully, because of me and my business partners, um, we are big time minority owned because a few of us are as mixed as anything because of our Native American, besides European,
Right,
African, Latinos, you know. Um, it was
right.
interesting. My one business partner, he's an ex Marine and he's Afro Dominican. And then my female, she is found out she's, besides being an Italian, she's found out her one grandmother was Mexican. So
Mm,
she, the Aztec that runs in the family. And then also she has Iroquois from in New York area as well. And so it was hilarious the day that she found out from her family that her grandmother, they thought she was just some kind of native and everything. They didn't know she because of her past.
right.
Um, day she found out she was Mexican from her grandmother, from her abuelita, was the day that we launched our coffee dedicated to Santa Muerte, La Blanca.
Wow. Talking about a
Talk
coincidence.
talk about
Yeah.
ancestors coming in, baby. And
Yeah.
also too, I had to take pride in because, with my African heritage and with my, Spanish heritage from being, half Puerto Rican, um, I am crowned Dos Aquas, which means I'm crowned to Yamaya, Shun, because they're the sisters. Well, we have a coffee. We are the only one, I've done my research, who has a coffee who's dedicated to Oshun. And from
Okay.
what I've been told from my fellow devotees, and almost they all say that she absolutely loves it. Because when we were designing our coffees and everything before we launch, you know, because me and my girl, we both got ADHD, so we make the complete brain cell as a team, batting each other
Right.
back and forth with ideas.
Right. Yeah.
Um, as she read off ingredients, it would just come in my third eye and everything. Oh my God, this needs to be dedicated to so and so,
Hmm.
or this needs to be to this god or so that god, or or this esoteric meeting or something,
Right.
and it just been we've been making sure that everything is just really just going spiritually led, and um, you've had the hazelnut.
Ah, yes. I was going to mention that. It was delicious. It really was delicious. Yes. I think it was that the ocean one that
No, that was the autumn equinox hazelnut.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Now it's been relabeled called hauntedly hazelnut with little ghost on it.
Okay. Okay.
because all of us girls, we are more into, doing are all psychic mediums in one shape, way, or form. I mean, we use different
Right.
tools to talk to the ancestors and our, people's spirits guides, our spirit guides,
Right.
but we all are doing the same thing. So that's why a lot of our things, and plus, me and my business partner, we're big kids at heart. So that's why you see like the little cartoony, ghosts and
Oh,
everything, this
absolutely.
to make it have fun. And you know
Right.
so one thing I like I said about it is just when we started the business, it went. Um, there's a buku amount of them now these days. Back in the day, there was barely anybody. Got
Hmm.
besides Miss Cleo and all them, and
Right. Right.
and but now because of certain CEO billionaire conglomerates,
Mm.
they literally have a monopoly almost worldwide and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And so we did our research and we are the first. And I noticed since we started doing it, several other people are now starting to sell a coffee or two, a tea or two that never did before. But at least I can say I'm the OG baby. My grandma Henrietta used to say, baby, you can give the same recipe to 20 different bitches and you're going to get 20 different sauces. Don't
Right.
worry about whose gravy is what. I said, yes, ma'am.
Right. Right. So all the coffees and teas, are they consecrated, or are they prayed over, or anything like that? Or they ritualized, or
Um, as we made the labels,
Mhm.
they were prayed over and blessed and everything. And everyone who's ever had any of our coffees has been nothing but absolute joy and blessings. Has
I can
had nothing. I've not had one bad review.
right.
And one thing that's great from everyone, even from you said from your old lady who normally when she got the hazelnut coffee, she's still having to put a bunch of sugar and artificial creamer and all that stuff just to make it taste like hazelnut, and she barely had to put a little Italian sweet
Right.
cream in it
Yeah. Absolutely.
because of it all being so natural. Besides her, I've had several people come and tell me it's what you smell coming out of that bag is what you taste. If it says it's caramel and chocolate, it's caramel and chocolate,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And so yeah, we've just been working on launching new teas, and hope this winter we have a new spiced coffee called Holiday Spirits. It has a cute little Christmas seed with ghosts and little Santa Claus hats on it and everything. And
Okay.
then we have a cute little girly elf on our new tea called Winter Nights. It's a nice peppermint based type tea and everything. And so all our teas are loose leaf. So if you're into tea readings and
Hmm.
everything, I've had many people say that they work fabulously for that. Besides, like I said, also given for offerings, you use it for your spell work, like my jasmine and green tea.
My
That that
favorite right there. Mhm.
that's marked love spell.
Okay. Okay.
And then my peach flavored one is called Southern Love Hex. Because as soon as she said it was peach flavor, I'm thinking about my summer times in Macon, Georgia.
Mm. Okay.
So with the family and everything, especially actually the one Easter, we went up there. It was spring break, and we were going to Easter Sunday, and especially in the South, everybody got to have that big old hat and everything. Make sure your hat's not bigger than the first lady type, churches and everything.
Right.
And me and my god sister, we were tomboys and a half, but we're all dolled out in the most frilliest anything you could think of. And our mom wanted us to look in perfection because
Mhm.
especially Easter Sunday, it's like a fashion show in
Right.
some of the places.
Right.
And we decided we were gonna crawl. We got hungry, waiting for them to get finished ready for church, and we went up in that peach tree. And ooh, child, mm, we had juice running all down the front of us. Our mama about whooped our ass for a period of kingdom of God. That's like getting your ass whooped just before church.
Okay. All right. So I want to say what's up to everybody who's in the chat, and welcome again. I'm bringing back Reverend Patience, Brother Konami. So what's up? Legacy Sigma,
Oh,
my missus, love, peace, and blessings. Brother Moore, Hip Hop Elevation, Ultra Instinct. KK, what's up? I think it's Yeshai, Brandon L. Bay, welcome. Sister Righteous, and Astro Business Cardology Learning Center. And I have a question, website link. So when we end this broadcast, in the description box, all of Reverend Patience links on the ways you can contact her will be there. Okay. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment box. And so this business was just launched within the past 2 years since I interviewed you the first time.
2022. Yep.
2022. And it's been very successful since then.
Oh yeah, trust me. I have folks. I've see when every time I'm getting personal readings done, I because of always so many things going on, I always ask, what do I need to know? And I'm constantly getting the reading that folks are constantly throwing at it.
Throwing at your website,
My business,
your business.
yes.
Unfortunately, you know as well as I do, it comes with the territory. You know, people doing stupid shit.
But I've had it. But the thing is, I am grateful for it, and that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up.
Right.
Because transmutation is one of my favorite things, baby.
Can you explain? Can you elaborate on that?
Oh yes, that's where you take dark matter and you transform it into light, into blessings. And so that's why I have certain things. You'll see a reel that I've done where every time that someone speaks ill of my name or do ill against my company, you are nothing but doing but ching. You are transmuted into blessings for me and my babies, for me and my indigos. Go ahead, keep doing your foolishness. All right, I got demons that need to be fed, baby, as they say. Okay, right. So the more you do foolishness, the more they're happy, the more I'm protected, the more blessings are flowing in because you too distracted.
Y'all heard her. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, it comes with the territory, but I'm glad you're able to alchemize, if that's a word. I think it is, but yes. Alchemize that into blessings for you and your people.
Oh yeah, and it's nice having it also to a platform, being able to I do my own show, Spiritual Tea Time with Reverend Payshence, on our platform, and being able to give knowledge and because having you as a guest, and besides having our girls and everything, because I want to show people that granted we have different ways of doing things, we're doing the same thing.
I say that all the time. I say it all the time. I say there is plenty for all of us to be able to eat in this field.
Exactly. Because if you try, and it breaks my heart to see this pettiness and foolishness and the jealousy, because not realizing if you try to do everything for everybody, you will literally burn yourself out because of especially the negativity amounts that come from the collective alone.
Right.
It's like people, there's still almost 8 billion people in the world.
Right.
And, and that's why I always emphasize, about if you say every day to ask the ancestors, allow yourself to be that vessel, bring to me who I need to help. Who needs, my healing, my teaching, whatever that is that you do from the holistic and spiritual type of business that you do. They will come.
That's a whole mantra. Yeah.
You never have to chase. And that's the problem. Everyone is stuck in all this chasing. And that's why I tell people, the ones who are usually up in your DMs, like we had today, going on trying to impersonate my business and everything. A fraud will always be up. The spirit has compelled me.
Right.
Excuse my language. Get the hell out of here.
Right.
Right. Fantastic.
Yeah. Spiritual workers don't solicit themselves. I know I never have. I've never gone to someone and say, "Hey, you need me to do a reading, or you need me to do some work." No, it's been word of mouth.
Amen. Because we old school.
Right, exactly. Not only that foolishness. I mean, I try to separate myself from everybody. You know what I mean? So, the groups, the spiritual groups out here, a bunch of foolishness. What do you think of this new? I hate this term, but this new wave of new age, so-called spiritualists. and the groups they have. What's your take on that?
A bunch of pathetic fluff bunnies who don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they about to get somebody hurt.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, it's all over Facebook and
Full
other
of
social
ego.
media.
Oh yeah,
Right,
child.
right.
Like we were talking about the other day and
Hmm.
everything, the whole cinnamon thing. Okay,
Hey,
if you have a cat, do not be blowing no cinnamon into your front door. Are you trying to kill your cat? Hmm.
right.
Okay. That tradition comes from India because a bunch of you trendy little wannabes saw them doing reels on TikTok and or whatever and everything. Oh, let me do it too. And now everyone wants to do it like they do with the sage and the sweetgrass and the palo santo and everything. It's not even of your freaking tradition, and that's why it's almost extinct. And now they're mass producing it and they're spraying it with all these man-made chemicals, and now it doesn't have the spiritual attributes you think it does, even though it's advertised and mass produced sold because it's trendy.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. And people, and I have a big problem with this, but people don't actually do their research.
Exactly.
They take people's word at face value. They'll believe anything, and this has been alluded to in so many TV shows and movies. They will believe anything. They've done studies on this. People will believe anything you tell them.
Uh-huh.
Anything.
Oh, I
You know
know.
what
If
I
they
mean?
see it on TV or on the social media, yes, I know. That's why I normally I scroll by, but like I said, with this Mercury
Retrograde.
retrograde and the Mars retrograde,
Right.
I could hear my abuelita just screaming in my ear, so I had to say something and everything.
All right.
And so all I wrote was, if you have a cat, don't do it. It's poisonous for them. And they thought that was mean. They actually got, but you got to remember the two little girls that came after me for putting that post were Gen Z.
They were what?
Gen Z, snow bunnies.
The one that's get offended with about everything.
Yes. And
And
I,
so for you to say is pretty much a warning. For you to say something like that, say, hey, it's toxic to your cats. They found that to be mean.
yes. They, someone said I never heard that it was, look, seriously, look it up, the effects of cinnamon on the lungs of a cat. It numbs out their lips and tongue, and it will cause major inflammations in the lungs and everything, and it would causes a form of feline pneumonia, and it literally drown from the inside out.
Wow.
There's other ways of doing it. Washing your door down, in front door area and everything, doing the pine saw. That gives you protection against anything malevolent, brings prosperity, covers all of that. Good health. Go into your tea section. Get yourself some peppermint tea. Peppermint is for protection against anything malevolent, brings health, wealth. Um, Chamomile is for good luck. Also helps with happiness and love and protection. It's good for banishing anything malevolent. You can blend those teas. You can do lavender. You can, if you don't mind the smell of alcohol, shake that up because it has the hops in it, and spray down your thing and do a beer wash and everything, depending on your ancestors. You could do
Right.
that. Sprinkle some rice across your door, you know. But if you have and you're determined to do the cinnamon thing, put your feline in a room by itself with its food and water and its little to go box for 24 hours. Let it sit there, you know, so the energy and work on your intent and everything, and then wipe it up and clean it up real good and everything. That's why instead of wasting good cinnamon and everything, just use something else instead. Because
Okay.
see, in India, they don't keep cats like we do.
Right. Right.
That's why they do it as a tradition. It's a Hindu tradition and ritual that they do as part of their spirituality. And because of certain people seeing it, it became trendy, you know?
All of
So,
it's become trendy. All of it. All of it. I hate it. And soon as I try to refrain from saying stuff like that, but soon as people like ourselves start saying something, then oh, we're hating, or we old, or any of this bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. It's
oh,
just
and
absolutely
trust
ridiculous.
me, we try to stay out of it, but you only can take so much. And my girls call it my inner Medea coming out, and it just pops off, and it's like, good Lord, little girl, let me straighten you out. And then at the end and everything, because one tried this, thought she was big and bad and everything because her one cilium was Capricorn to the 29th degree. And I'm like, yeah, and what's your freaking point, little girl? That
That's
don't mean
crazy.
nothing to me. I said, honey, I've been working the craft in its various forms longer than you were a speckle in your daddy's eye, honey. Okay?
That was my next question, actually. Tell the people, how long have you actually been practicing?
Knowing what I'm doing and everything, I would say I started about really about 13, but I always grew up around the different various forms of conjure and hoodoo all my life. You know,
Mm.
being in the South. And I mean, my mama belonged to a little church lady group that was made of both Protestant and Catholic women. And they were called the Morning Glories. And they do everything I do and everything, but all in the name of Jesus. And oh, yeah. And they come together and they go to different little nursing homes during the summer and everything, and do little skits and sing little songs and to entertain the old folks. And then when they're not doing that, they come together once a month to celebrate their birthdays, catch up on the tea and what's been going on in each other's lives, and then put each other on the prayer list at church and everything. And the funny thing is, this event always happens close to the closest full moon of the month.
Wow. Okay.
People don't realize that, especially with growing up in the black church and the white churches in the
Mm.
South and everything, the only difference between Christian conjure and hoodoo is ancestry.
Right.
But they doing the same thing. One is poor black and one is poor white. And when it comes to the traditions and where they came from and everything. And that's why being someone who is mixed as I am and
Mhm.
everything, it started because as they, I tell babies, you need to learn who your ancestors are, the good, the bad, the ugly, because
All of
nobody
them.
is perfect.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so growing up adopted, I always had the gift of prophecy because I was born with the veil. They say the cow and everything.
Yeah.
And I did not know about that until after I met my birth giver. We
Mm.
didn't have the best relationship, and that's why I refer to her as that. No offense to anybody. But
Fine. You're fine.
she was 14 going on 15, grew up in a very superstitious Irish Catholic, family. And so when she saw this baby coming out and had his extra skin going across the face, she thought she gave birth to a monster.
Did she?
According to some people, I am. To some
I'm just
people, I'm
being,
an angel and a sweetheart. Depends on who you talk to, baby.
I'm just messing with you.
I act accordingly. It all depends on what company I'm in.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Peace to Sister Moonfeather, who says oregano is poisonous to cats and causes liver damage. You knew about that one too?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I,
Okay.
I'm a master herbalist.
Okay. And Legacy Sigma says rubbing the doors with pine resin. Is that
Pine.
something?
Yes, you could do pine resin. Resin is really usually really hard and
Mm,
everything. That's why you usually do like said doing the pine oil. You can just do good old fashioned pine saw because pine saw is literally made with pine essential oil. That's why it smells the way it does and
mhm,
everything. That's an old hoodoo conjure tradition and everything. Start
mhm,
wiping, bless it over. Add some kosher salt or sea salt, throw some of that in there. Throw yourself a little piece of High John the Conqueror root and everything, and let that soak up
mhm.
really good and everything. And give yourself a good wash down and everything.
Okay. I hope y'all are writing notes. She's giving out some good hoodoo tips here. Alexi Sigma also says he's heard to use the pine oil for the solar cross for protection.
Yeah, as a form of holy oil. Yep,
Okay.
you can use pine oil. You can use olive oil for that and everything.
Okay. So let's circle back to something you mentioned earlier. You said that, and we spoke about this the other day. You said Mercury's in retrograde, which is fucked up in itself. But then you say Mars is also retrograde.
Yes, actually, there's about 5 planets altogether that are in retrograde still, but people don't pay attention because being on trend with the astrology, everyone wants to talk about just Mercury, not realizing
There's other
Mercury ain't
planets.
as bad as people think it is, as it's
Right.
hyped up to be. Okay,
Right.
it all depends on your mindset. You coming into this retrogrades with a negative mindset, that negative bullshit's going to be happening. Guess what's going to happen in your life, people? You're asking it to be returned. Think retrograde means return, revise, redo, return to sender.
Bam.
Okay. All
Right.
right. That's why, and even though it was JP Morgan, but the man was right. That they say billionaires use astrology, millionaires just know of it.
Hmm. Um, Someone
So,
used to say that to me all the time. Millionaires don't use astrology, but billionaires do.
yep.
Yeah.
Another way of saying it. Yep. They
Hmm.
don't, they do.
Yeah. Okay. Moonfeather says, bless you. She loves your sassiness. And thank you for your wisdom.
My pleasure, baby. My pleasure. Thank you.
What's up, Swords Witch? Pluto is in Aquarius right now. What's up, Chikezi? In Aquarius for 20 years. Okay. All right.
So that song by the Fifth Dimension has new meaning.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So besides the astrology, the readings, are there any other services you provide? Like, do you provide magical services for people, or have you
No, I'd
stopped?
rather teach than do. I'm
Oh,
tired of doing for folk.
so you teach also. You have
Yeah.
students.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And I tell people because I've been bugged for years to write a book, and I said no. I was told that was my part of my taboo, and I do not. I'm not supposed to write a book. I'm supposed to teach. I'm supposed to make you write your own book. I speak.
Right.
You write.
Right.
I tell my baby straight up, prepared. As you make sure you have me on speakerphone as we talking, because a lot of my babies are long distance. They're like, oh, do online courses. I said no. I've had too many of my good people who've done that and everything, and have people have their stuff and works stolen and copied and fraudulently put out. And that's no. You want to learn from me? You contact me through indigopsychics.com and you get yourself a 30-minute session, and we rocking. And because what I teach is according to what's going on into your life at that time. And what I
Right.
meant to teach this person, I may not meant to teach that person, if that makes sense.
Yes, makes perfect sense. Yes, that's been my fear, and there's been people who've requested me and said, you should write a book, and I'm like, I see what happens to other people and their works being stolen. Like Denise Alvarado goes through it constantly. People stealing her copyrighted work and stuff, and I just don't want that happening to me. But we have a question, and that is, how can you better find out about all your ancestors' rituals or even practices with your ancestral altar? It's a very specific question.
If you know where your ancestors come from, start studying the sociology of their culture, of how they practice with or the spiritual rituals. And if there are modern day people who are of that, you can go and learn from, seek them out, but make sure you do your research on the people you go to seek out to learn about the ancient ways of your people, because there are a lot of frauds thanks to the internet that like to take advantage of people, especially in the African dysphoria traditions. That's why I want nothing to do with those people, because of all the frauds that are out there. And sadly, they say a lot of them come from the Nigeria itself. You
Mm,
know, ay
yeah.
Dios mío. But when it comes to doing, that you need to be able, like, if you feel comfortable, do it to ancestry.com. Do one of those DNA tests so you can really find out in detail where your peoples come from and everything. And then start studying on those countries and those, how they ate, how they dressed, because as you learn about them, you learn about yourself. And then, especially if they have certain ways of communicating with the ancestors and you start practice, they'll come further and more clear to you, especially the more ancient ones that are in that watch over you and
Right.
stuff. Because with some of them, because sadly, a lot of people forget to tell these newbies that coming up, not everyone speaks what you speak. That's guiding you, that watches over you, whether it be a goddess, a spirit guide, an ancestor. Okay, especially if they, someone like me who got a little bit of everybody from all over. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta, like, it's reason why I'm emphasizing about learning that. So that's why I got really into languages. Learning. I mean, because between all the different um, European to all the African and the my Taino that's in me and everything. Um, that's why I wanted to learn, so I can learn the ancient, spells and spiritual practices, you know. And so, yeah, I've even learned a few, from the between the African, and then like I found out that we are part Jewish from my father's side of the family and everything.
Mm, okay.
A lot of us Puerto Ricans do, and so I started because I had always wondered why I was always so drawn to that culture and everything. Besides growing up in Palm Beach County, Florida, there's a lot of them that have settled there from like, retiring from like New York and Jersey and everything as
Mm,
snowbirds and stuff. And, but to come to find out, it's like, what? Is it always, because I was always drawn to the Aramaic, besides the old Greek and the Hebrew that traditionally people, studying the different, especially in the learning of the ways of the Kabbalah and stuff like that.
mhm.
And so it was just very interesting to learn up on that. And then I was always big into belly dancing. And my one teacher, I had to learn because she barely spoke any English. So we all had to learn basic Egyptian Arabic and everything. So people don't realize that Arabic, Hebrew, and Aramaic, all three of those are Semitic languages.
Yes,
They all
absolutely.
come from the same roots.
Yeah.
So, when you see stuff like in the media talking about anti-Semitic, and they always want to refer to the Jews, not realizing it.
Right.
That's
Right.
also anyone who speaks in the Arab language, or Aramaic though is a dead language. That was the language of Christ and the disciples, or
Yeah.
of Nazareth.
Another question, my moon feathers. I would love to know, what does bubbles mean in your altar water and the water is clear?
Usually, from what I've always gotten and what I was taught, um, that's catching the negative energy,
Ah,
trapping it, and
right,
everything.
right. Okay.
That's besides the, if it's turning cloudy or anything like that. But yeah, usually the starting of that is catching of the bubbles. That's catching any negative energies that is around you. That, if someone's throwing you, especially like evil eye. The
Yeah.
more prominent they are, the more intense it is. That means you need to be cleansing and you need to go take a spiritual bath and do whatever you got to do.
Right.
Oh, a good one to I'll keep you protected. Anytime you brush your natural hair, take that and burn it. And the reason why you're going to do that and everything, if anyone's throwing at you, because that's the crown area is where they want to, attach to first when they throw at you, that
Mhm.
will help return the sender back.
Okay.
So always give yourself your natural hair when you do your head washing, your shampooing day and everything, a good brush. Save that hair from your brush or your comb and make sure you burn it and send it off. Make sure it burns completely through, that you don't see no hair left. Okay. And that will return to whatever foolishness somebody's been throwing.
Ah, return the sender. Okay. All
Hmm.
right. And you are currently in Minnesota, correct?
Yes. Lovely land of 10,000 lakes, baby.
Is it big, large,
Oh, hell yeah.
magical community? A magical community, no?
Oh, no. Where I
Yeah.
live is country as anything. I'm known as the
Is it?
town witch.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I mess with these people so bad. My husband got me personalized license plates because when Minnesota came out with the black with the white lettering, every form of the word witch and every form of the Spanish version of bruja, which is witch in Spanish,
Mhm.
was already taken. So I, with having some German heritage from my mother's side of the family, I honored those ancestors by, because there's a lot of Germans and Swedes in the area that I live here in. I live about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes north of the Twin Cities, in the middle of nowhere. You know,
Yeah.
population's 3,000, and they have over 100 churches. You know,
Jeez.
we
Yeah.
country baby, but the Yankee version,
Right.
and and so to mix with them, I have the German word for witch is hexa, and it's Hexe, and then I took the e's and flipped them and made them three, so it's hexa 33 to pay homage to the ascended masters,
Okay. Okay.
and also to pay homage that my hubby's a mason.
So anyone who would meet you face to face, personal, they would, and they never met you before or anything, they would know that you were into the spiritual arts. Would they know? Was there any telltale like jewelry or stuff that you wear?
Um, well, I've always been a goth at heart.
Okay.
This is the this purple shirt is the most color I got in my wardrobe. Everything else is like 99.9% black and
Oh,
everything. But it is way. I had people calling me goth before I knew what goth was. You know
okay.
what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And that was back in the 80s in junior high. And but now because it's so much in the media and trend and everything, it's obvious what I am. And like I said, me pulling up, I have all blackout windows, all black vehicle, SUV. Um, and and like I said, my front and back license plate says Hexa, and then you know how you can get those decorative little
Yeah.
plates and stuff.
Yeah.
They're black with white little pictures on it, and you see little coffee cups and crystal balls and
Ah.
pinnacles and spell
Okay.
book on it. And I have a matching thing on my thing, and then I have a raven hanging from my
Yeah.
rearview mirror.
Yeah. I would know. I would know. I
And I
would.
wear, like I said, and I wear black 99.9% of the time.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any reason, this is also asked by Legacy Sigma, is there any reason why it's harder to contact our ancient ancestors?
Well, because we've been conditioned by today's society not to be spiritual people in this modern world. Because
Yep.
to be spiritual people means to be a free thinker, because you have your pineal gland open. Why do you think that they put certain things? I'm not going to mention certain things because I don't want Brother Lacroix to lose his channel like I did and everything. But
You're fine.
you need to decalcify. Trust me, believe me. Listen to the 852 frequency, the 285. What's the other one? I'm thinking on top of my head.
Or
963. That's another one that's known as the God frequency. Those really help pop open that third eye. But be prepared, okay? Because once you pop open and you awake, all right, and this
no comment.
decalcify, it's gonna hurt. You will literally. I've had more than one person. I've felt it myself. I feel this pop because that's how calcified they were and
Mm,
everything.
mhm.
Um, Besides, you can look up different ways of doing it. A good way of doing it when the weather is good. No, it doesn't matter what direction it is. If the sun is out nice and bright, shut your eyes and look toward the sun.
Mm.
All right, that will start help melting away and everything. And also, there's different type of foods and everything you can look up to decalcify your pineal gland and everything. Besides listening to the different frequencies, but trust and believe me, you will start to see the things that should of the unseen, as they call them. Okay.
Mhm.
So when you start doing that, you need to come see someone like me or see some, Papa Lacroix over here, and make sure, because we'll show you. No, you're not crazy. You're starting to
Right.
have the clear. Your clairs are starting to come in, the different spiritual gifts. Either
Right.
sadly, like naturally on their own, like especially in the Gen Z, what they would call the violet generation.
Mhm.
Um, I see so many of these babies getting diagnosed with schizophrenia because they're
Yeah.
clairaudient and they refuse to acknowledge that these are spiritual gifts. And there's, instead of acknowledging these babies are going crazy and everything, and they put all these nasty old pills and stuff,
Right,
and the pills are
right,
not helping. The pills are making them worse half the time, and
right.
everything. And so that's why I got, even though growing up with my natural healing and health, from my adopted mother and all that kind of good stuff, through my own experience and with training and with my spiritual gifts, I've learned through the different natural supplements and the frequencies and using of crystals and prayer and meditation, But the thing is, you got to put the work in. I'm living proof you can control it. It's called self discipline. That's the main key to self mastery, of knowing thyself. But the thing is, 99.9% of a lot of folk out there coming up into this spiritual walk do not have it. And as soon as it's something they realize that's what's required of it, and they start realizing what it means, our lives are the great work, you can't be complacent and realize, because we have such a quick fix, instant gratification, worldwide culture. So anybody new coming in, they don't want to learn, when especially what this requires. I actually have to read something. I actually have to put in the work. I actually have to do healing. What do you mean there's no quick fix? What do you mean it's not instantaneous?
Mm.
Y'all need to get off the freaking, social media and the freaking TV and the movies.
But this is, I say that a lot though. I say that, I found that people really don't want to learn once they come to someone like us, and it's like, look, you got to read this, you got to do this. I take people through the basics. Learn this basic shit first. It's not
Exactly.
like Charmed and you say an incantation off of a piece of paper and smoke is going to fly everywhere and sparks and instant, magic. I say it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? But like you said, social media, society has promoted this. You
Uh-huh.
know what I mean?
Oh, trust me. And I had a youngin' a few years ago try to tell me I was speaking from ego when I said a lot of us elders, and I know you agree with me, brother,
Mm,
about how we are sick and tired of the disrespect and the
absolutely.
blatant ignorance and laziness that
Mm,
of the ones that are trying to come in, trying to be like us, but when they realize the work, like they want the crown and everything, but they don't want to realize the work and the responsibility and the weight,
right.
the
Right.
heaviness, the
Exactly.
responsibility. And when they
Exactly.
realize that, they flake because they got commitment issues, you know?
Yes. Yes. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And then my audience has heard me say this before. I hate that I had to go through so much for so long to get where I'm at today. And people just come in and once the instant master level, and I'm like, it doesn't happen that way. Most
Mm-mm.
spiritual teachers or real deal occultists, let's call them that, are humble. They're not on here bragging about what they have and how successful they are. You know what I mean? They actually desire to help other people and bring them up. See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's a great question because I have family in Minnesota, and I never got to many hoodoo/spiritual places when I would visit.
Because there aren't many. That's sad. There really isn't. Child, I used to help my husband run a beauty supply store on South Side Minneapolis, right? Where South Side, I mean the hood and uptown,
It
right
sounds
across
that
it.
way.
Okay. And so being called Variety Beauty Supply, we had every variety, every walks of life, from every skin tone to every language you could think of in the town coming in. And I've looked at so many people who claim to be of hoodoo and everything, and I look at them, they didn't even know what a Florida water was. They're like,
Right.
"What's that?" And it's like, "Oh, you Yankee, okay, never mind."
All right.
And then so like I mentioned to him, I said, "Just think of holy water, but on steroids." Oh my God, really? It's like, yeah, baby, you
Not
know.
Florida water.
Because they all want to go
Yeah.
do this sage BS and not realize the sage don't do nothing, honey. All you doing, whatever
Nothing.
malevolent demonic thing you got going on. It's like Snoop Dogg sitting down with Willie Nelson, smoking each other out. He just sitting there dumb and stupid looking at you, but he's not going nowhere. All right.
Right.
Okay. And then he gonna calm down, being more pissed off than because the demon has not left, baby. All right.
Right. Right.
Now, now, if you sit there and you smoke them out with some, you just take your Italian herb blend, or straight up rosemary, or oregano, or basil,
Hmm.
and everything, and there you go, easy one right there. Mixing the oregano with white vinegar, or like I said, always like doing the straight old fashioned pine sol, doing the lavender fabuloso and everything with extra lavender, adding the Florida water to it,
Hmm.
also Florida water straight up by itself as well, and everything that will get rid of it better. Because one of my other things that I do, I've been working in the paranormal field since I was 18. I'll be 49 in January. Okay. And many times I got out of the field because there's too many male egos. That's what I mean. Like everything you see on TV is either a straight male team or a female and male team, but all female teams never get full respect. So that's why I dropped back from doing teams. But I still mentor babies that want different groups here in Minnesota. And that's one of the things I teach them about and everything, that you need to make sure that you're, staying yourself protected, and a quick, easy fix, especially if you're coming out of someplace that has something really nasty in it and everything, is get yourself a little spray bottle of the Florida water and keep it in your pocket if you're a guy, or keep it in your purse if you're a girl. So when if you think, spiritual or a negative person, I don't remember how many times when I've had to hide in the corporate world and try to be a normie and work a normal job, as they say, and where you got somebody who's acting like a Karen and a half in your workplace, and after you got done talking with her, spray yourself down real quick, three clockwise and everything, and then in whatever direction that person walked away, you do it counterclockwise to help cut and sever the tie, and people, oh, this smells good around here. Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it? You can go
I
back
think
to work.
I hot footed somebody at my job one time. I got tired, honestly. I actually got
Oh,
tired
baby.
of doing in the corporate. It's been years, but I got tired of having to do magic in the workplace just to be comfortable. I got sick of it. It worked. Well, everything I did worked, but I'm like, do I really need to do this for this money here? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So,
When you really down look at it, spirit's really trying to tell you you're wasting your time. You're
right,
burning yourself out trying to keep yourself comfortable and safe in a place that you're really not happy at. How about
right,
this? Write down on a list exactly what it is that you want for your career and what you want to be doing, how much you want to be making and everything. And you concentrate on that and get the stepping and working in the right direction instead of wasting your energy. Waste your energy on manifesting that instead. So you're happy and healthy, because no job is worth, I don't give a damn how much money you make it.
right.
If it's costing your health mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, it is not worth it.
Right. Exactly. That is a word and a half what you said there. Legacy Sigma asks, are there any books to read to learn the herbs and concoctions of hoodoo and their uses?
Um, Tatiana McCuller, she does the Hoodoo Tarot. She's one of the only ones I really recommend. Everybody else is a white fraud.
Um,
The majority of them, that of books that are out there and everything. The only Creole person I recommend is Denise Alvarado. She is
mhm.
from New Orleans. She
Yes,
has on hoodoo and voodoo and everything. But
yes.
majority of people who have written books on hoodoo or have hoodoo sites
Hmm.
are white frauds.
Yep.
Okay. Not to sound like a gatekeeper, and I'm
No,
not sounding racist.
you're
This
fine.
is the honest God truth. Hoodoo is a African slave American tradition that runs
Thank you.
from the black churches. If
It's
you
in,
do not have African American slaves that can't worked on the plantation, then you are not a hoodoo practitioner. You are a conjure worker.
say it again. For those that didn't hear you, can you repeat that, please?
If you do not have African American slave ancestry that worked on the plantations, you are not a hoodoo practitioner. because it is ancestral based spiritual practice.
There you go. Ancestral. Exactly.
It's not that we're trying to be racist, it's just a fact.
It's just, like today's society, we got to explain everything. Like, oh, we're not trying to be racist. No, these are facts. And facts are truthful to those who are trying to hide it.
You can't handle
Period.
the truth now. You put the facts in front of these babies' faces, and oh my gosh, I keep seeing Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men going, "You can't handle the truth," being all marine and everything. That's how these babies are. Like the
Right.
woman we were talking about the cinnamon and everything. She's like, "Prove it." I said, "What? You too lazy to do your own research? Here you go." And I sent her like 6 different articles because one of my specialties as a natural health practitioner is in the natural health of cats and dogs. Because I mostly did that, even though I have my certification in it, because I keep cats and dogs as my own pets. And the way these vets are, a lot of these vets are, their own, want to push these nasty shoot 'em ups, just like, human doctors do to humans, if you know what I mean. And so I got really just couldn't believe, you hardcore proven medical articles, scientific articles, and they were still refused, just like anything else that we've been going on for these last few years and everything. You put the facts in right in front of them, but because this person said it, it has to be true, even though you have the real fact in front of their face. No, because this person told me that was true. Instead, I'm gonna believe it. I don't care what you say, even though you have the facts in front of their face, and it's going like that to them.
Right. Let me ask you this. I'm almost scared of this answer that you're going to give, but do you see this getting any better? So you decide not to answer.
I plead the fifth for incriminating myself, both on the physical and the spiritual, baby. Put it this way.
Right.
I already predicted. I didn't say that I voted for him because I'm an independent.
Mm-hmm.
I strongly believe left, right, same bird.
Right. I know where you're going with this. Yes.
All right. And there's a reason why the hope is said in the third prophecy, beware of the man with the red hat. But trust and believe me, the ones that that he replaced were actually doing worse to the country than what people want to get. But they're so brainwashed because they don't want to realize and everything that the people, the powers that be in the freaking Richmond swamp up there are magicians, high practicing, very powerful magicians. And they have a bunch of buddies around the world. And they have the majority using a very elaborate glamour spell, aka domination spell, on the people through the physical, spiritual, mental, emotional of the people. And people like you and people like me who have true magical discernment, no matter how much they try, cannot be blocked. And we see. And because we see, they keep calling us crazy. But now that certain things are starting to come out left and right, yeah, they still calling us crazy, but they ain't calling us wrong no more.
Right. Exactly. Please check out Reverend Payshence YouTube show on Wednesdays. No, Wednesday night.
I don't do it on YouTube no more.
You did say that. I'm sorry. Where do you do it now?
Spiritual Tea Time with Reverend Payshence is every Wednesday night live on Indigo Psychics Facebook page. And you can, besides like here and everything, also on mine, you can talk in the comments and everything during the live streams, because we usually have guests that we can do readings with, many a times, have one card free type readings. And then also, if you want to ever contact me, you can go to indigopsychics.com. And we're on all forms of social media underneath the name of Indigo Psychics.
Yes, and I'm like I said, I'm going to have all of her information in the description box so you can contact her, go see her show. She is Reverend Payshence. I'm hoping you're going to come and do this with me again, right?
Oh, anytime. I'm there for you, brother.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thanks again for coming. This was, like people said, this was a dope one. Legacy Sigma. Nothing is by mistake. This is all a cosmic war. Please
Yes.
support Reverend Payshence. Remember, I don't bring anybody on here I don't think y'all shouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? So, again, Reverend Payshence, thanks for joining me again. And I'll see you soon on your show on, what is that, March?
Yes, it'll be March 6th. Hold on. Let me look real quick. Da, da, da. Pop up. March. No. March 12th.
March 12th. I will be on her show then. Again, she does her shows on Wednesdays. And support the sister. She is somebody you definitely want to know. Thanks again, Reverend Patience.
My
And
pleasure.
thank y'all for joining me. I am Magick LaCroix, Reverend Patience, y'all, and we are out of here. Namaste. Peace, y'all.